Shalom and welcome to open a new session on Discord today and this week. Today we are lighting the fifth candle of Hanukkah. The time is really passing by. And today I would like to speak about Hadar. I'm very happy to see you here. Good morning, good afternoon, friends. I'm very happy to be here with you today. And today I would like to speak about Hadar, the eighth king. In Genesis 36, there is a list of the kings of Edom. 7 kings are mentioned by their names, and after a while, they are disappearing from the picture, meaning it's written about them, and he reigned, or he ruled, or he governed, and then he died. So happened 7 times. But the 8th king, who his name is Hadar, Hadar is a very interesting king. It is not just that he is the 8th king, he also has a wife. This is the first king. I mean, this is the 8th king, but the first king to have a wife. And his wife is Mehitav El. Mehitav El means in Hebrew the best of God. Mehitav, Mehitav, one second, I'm writing. Of El, this is the best of God. What is so special about Hadar and his wife Mehit of El? And Hadar continues to live, while all the former kings, the 7 kings of Edom, are disappearing from the picture. They don't continue to live. And why did we bring this story of Hadar in regarding to Hanukkah? Because Hanukkah also we celebrate 8 days. Because we celebrate in a way 8 spheres, when 8 is beyond time and space. Again, 7, Sheva, is in the realm of nature, Teva. But the 8 is in the realm of miracle, is something that we cannot calculate, conceive, or consider before it happens. And so is the story of Hadar. Hadar is the 8th king, and he has a wife. What is so important about having a wife? Hadar is basically turning to another person. All the former kings are just ruling for themselves to console power. And they're disappearing very quickly from the map or from history or from the story. But Hadar continues to live. The value of Hadar, and this is quite interesting, Hadar has the value of 209, very close to Isaac. Isaac is 208, and Isaac is already associated with the 8th day or with Sfirat Binah. So far, the topic is understood. What is the relation between Hadar, yes, and Isaac, and the 8th sphere Binah, and Hanukkah? All of those, yes. Yes, Hadar is also its citrus, yes, and it has a very good, how do you say, smell or scent, yes, and what has a scent also testifies on the spirit. Yes, 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 this is citrus. Yes, Hadar, it means in Aramaic also to return, to return home, to return to the source. Yes, so in a way, Hadar, which is located in the 8th sphere, which is Binah, he's also returning to the origin. Yes, isn't that Messiah associated with a sense of smell? Excellent. Yes, yes, Mashiach or Messiah is associated with a sense of smell. Yes, because the smell is rising through the nostrils, yes, vertically into the mind. And it gives a peace of mind. Yes. Sense of smell is most strongly correlated with memory. Yes, the most ancient, yes, yes, that's correct. The sense of smell is strongly correlated with memory, with the ancient one. With the ancient one, Atika Kadisha, very good. The ancient one, which is holy, Atika Kadisha, the memory of us, remember ourselves being souls before we entered space and time, before we entered the realm of bodies. Yes, so it is very important for us to have all the time around us good smell or good sense, because in this way we can remember our source, that we are not, we're just visiting here, but originally we are from there. Remembering ourselves before we had an idea of ourselves. Yeah, that's correct. Yes, that's correct. Because whenever we have idea of ourselves, of who we are, the name, location, and so, we're already acting in a cast or in the movie, and we are telling ourselves that we are the figures of this movie. If a person has a name, let's say his name is John, and he thinks or she thinks about herself as Mary, or he thinks about himself as a John, it is already limitation of who we are. Because John is not John. Yes? He appears here in a body which is got a name at birth by the name John, but this is only a tiny bit of who he is. Yes? He acts. Everybody says John, so he turns his head, or somebody gives him a phone call, says hello, John is hello, or so. But this is a very little particle of who John is or who Mary is. Yes? Shalom, Yanis. Shalom, shalom. We are very happy that all of us are here together. So, whenever, this is interesting, whenever we call someone name, I don't want to mention the people who participate here for a reason, to give them some kind of peace. But whenever we use a name, yes, Peter, Paul, Mary, we just limiting, yes, our intention. Yes, because Paul, Peter, Mary, or anybody from these 8 billion people walking now on planet Earth, they are much bigger than their limited cast or the limited role. Yes? Is that clear? When we call someone and we turn to someone by his name or her name, we are turning to her or his limited function or role. Yes? But through this name, we can arrive to Parilm. Labeling things means not recognizing them in a way, because we only see one aspect. Yes, we only turn to them in a way as they are manifested here. We often, this is very interesting for us, yes, we often relate to people, and it doesn't matter neighbors, friends, family, let's say circles. We only relate to people according to what we sense from them, not to who they are. Because each and every one of us is an aspect of divine soul. But somehow, and this is also embedded in all of us. It's not a matter of a choice. We cannot choose this. This is how it is built. We always relate to people as our senses defining us. And in a way, we relate to a person, let's say to a teacher who goes to this, let's say we have a school here, elementary school. We relate to this person as the teacher, has a name, she or he, it doesn't matter, but we relate to him as a teacher. as a subject to space and time that spends several hours in the school every day. But this is not really who or she is. It's like picking out one single note out of the symphony and trying to reduce it to, yes, this is it. This is it. We say names, we mention people, but we only can capture people according to what our senses are broadcasting for us as a data that it is coming from them or echoes, but it is not really who they are. Yes? But let's not speak about people. It is easier to speak about, let's say, dolphin. We see a dolphin. Dolphin lives mostly under the water. Yes, it's a mammal, it's a happy mammal, very sensitive mammal. Here, it appears as a dolphin. We call it dolphin. We expect from the dolphin to do what he does because it is manifested to our senses that this is a dolphin. But a dolphin comes from there. Yes, this is a living soul. It comes from there and being manifested here in space and time. There is dolphining happening. Yes, there is dolphining happening. There is, yes, excellent. There is dolphining happening. Yes, there's a doving happening when we see a dove, for instance, like in the Song of Songs, my dove. There's a doving happening. We see a dove. There is a manifestation of a dove. Yes, there is a catting. There is a manifestation of a cat in the neighborhood or in our homes. Yes, because suddenly flowering. Yes, there is a manifestation of flowering. Here, at this moment, appears a flower. Yes, this is in the manifested. We limit this plant by the name flower. Yes, but this is life is verbing. Excellent. Life is verbing. That's correct. Life is verbing. Excellent way to put it. It is easier for us. Not many people are capable to do this exercise, to relate to people, not as limited, let's say, organism in time and space by the name or by the function, but as the one who comes from there because he or she, the teacher, the psychologist, they're also coming from there. Yes, the engineer, yes, the pianist, all of them, all of us are coming from there, and we are being manifested here in different variants. But we are one, we are coming from the one, we're just playing a role here. Hebrew is a very verb-based language. That's correct. That's correct. Hebrew based on the verb. Yes, because the verb, in a way, is what is happening. Yes, when we describe a verb or when we use verb, this is what is happening. It might sound weird, but when we look at the street and we see a person walks down the street, there is a walking. Yes, there is a walking. Who's walking is a different question, but there is a walking. So the being Havaya comes through a verb. Yes, rest, like the lion rest. Yes, it is very interesting because there's a beautiful saying by the one of the philosophers that the only freedom that we have is in the doing, but not the doing that I am the doer. There is a doing, there is a doing, but not we are the one or the ones who are doing those deeds. A lot of confusion stems from looking add divinity as a noun. Yes, that's correct. That's correct. So sometimes people have so many thoughts. It is happening that people tend to, let's say, drown in thoughts. And the only thing, the simple thing that can help us is just to do a simple thing. Sometimes to wash the dishes, sometimes to take a walk, to feed the cat, to go there to the neighborhood, to feed the cat. And there's a simple freedom by acting innocently. And we are not in a way the doers. We are not the owning of our actions. Actions are happening through us, but we are not doing them. We are not owning them because usually people speak or tend to think that yes, I made this and I made that and I ran like 500 kilometers triathlon, who knows, marathon. I am the owner of my actions. No, not at all. It is the actions which are being manifested by us. And who has manifested humans in space and time. And where do we get the sense of we are acting? The thought is coming to us and we are moving, we are reading a book, we are cooking a meal, but we are not doing it. It is coming through us. The being, life, yes, life is coming through us. When everything is objectified, we lose the essence of things, seemingly. Yes, that's correct. That's correct. Any questions or thoughts that you'd like to share? So let's go back to Hadar. Hadar is the eighth king, and he has a wife, Mehit of El. Yes, yes, Fernando. Interestingly, noun and nominus are related. Excellent. Noun and nominus are related. Yes, nominus, yes, is the origin, and the phenomenon, yes, the manifested. Yes, yes, very good, Fernando. Very good, very good. Returning to Hadar, and Hadar, it means to return. He returned. What does it mean he returned? He returned from nature of things, from gravitating from the realm of the seven to the realm of the eighth sphere. Because the three upper spheres, Keter, Chochmah, and Bina, are considering to be beyond space and time, like the infinite mind, so to speak. So Hadar, yes, he is located in the eighth sphere and he has a wife. What is the importance of having a wife in a different relation to the former kings? He turns to another person which is not himself. Again, Hadar turns to another person. We, as people, we are in our best when we turn to other people. Meaning, when we don't think about ourselves as, let's say, John, Peter, Paul, Mary, and when somebody asks a question, how to get to this street, how to get to this city, and we can share advice or experience, we at our best, yes, when we are not associated with the name that we were given in space and time. Yes, we are at our worst when we only turn to ourselves. This is true. This is the definition of a black hole. Hole. Yes, not just in the outer space. We don't need NASA to give us beautiful pictures of black holes. This is what we can experience. Each and every one of us can experience what black hole means. by just thinking and concentrating only about themselves. This is the greatest dark hole that we can think of. That's correct. So we are at our best when we turn to another person. Yes, when we can serve, we can write something, just not thinking moment about ourselves. And in the moment that we don't think about ourselves, we are in a way like Hadar, eighth king. Yes? How? Because what we are doing at the moment, we are not ourselves. Yes? We are like turning to the best part of ourselves, which is Mehet of El, the best of God. We are doing our best by being messengers of God on planet Earth. Is that clear? A while back, I heard an interview with a patient suffering from chronic pain. No medicine helps. They said the only thing that does help is writing postcards to people for 1 second, focusing on something else or someone else. Yes, that's correct. That's correct. This is the only thing that can pull us from our catastrophes. People sometimes have chronic pain, sometimes people have issues that they cannot solve in their life because they did not create it. And the only thing that we can do is turn to the world or turn to service. Yes, sometimes people are born into certain, let's say, I would say, coordinates that they could be considered as catastrophes, but they decided not to relate to them because they understand they did not create those catastrophes and they choose service. So they understand that their appearance here in time and space has an aim or a reason, and they understand what is in their hands. So the only thing that they have in their hands is to turn to the other. About the catastrophes in their lives, they did not create them, they're coming with, they understand, and they choose, they turn their brain off and they choose to serve. And they, those people, in a way, experience great happiness and freedom. One man's catastrophe is another man's opportunity. That's correct. That's correct. So the question is, how can a person experience Hadar and Mehet of El in his wife and in his life? Or yes, Hadar again. How can we experience Hadar and Mehet of El, his wife, in our lives when we are turning to another person? When we are turning to service, when we are doing an action not just to benefit ourselves and to get a salary or money or something in return, just doing something gratuitously. Yes, at this moment, we are not our names. Yes, at this moment, we are Hadara. Yes, and our turning to the world is named Mehet of El because we are doing the best of God, the best of grace that in a way we were in a way located in this specific junction in space and time to do. So basically, the biblical story is not just, let's say, ancient or historical kings. It's about different modes and recognitions in our lives. Yes, when a person is self centered, he lives like the seven kings of Edom that we meet in Genesis 36. But he thinks that he is the owner of his actions, that he is managing life, that he governs his family, and so. But the Bible says all those figures that he thinks that he is playing roles as king or as a center, all of those aspects, at the end of the day, they will die. The only one that will return to the higher is an aspect of Hadar. Yes. Weinreb says that the seven kings were like clones. Program, yes, yes, this is excellent. The seven kings, were robots or are in a way programmed brain, just mechanical doing. Yes, and they're dying. They cannot return because they cannot go outside, so to speak, of the box. They just have this mechanical activity. Yes. And when time is, in a way, time comes to end, they cannot influence. By the way, whenever the Bible says died or dies, the meaning of dying is simple. There is a stop of influence. Yes? When somebody dies, he stopped to influence. This is why the Bible mentions Hadar as a living king. Again, Hadar and Mehet of El and his good deeds are living, not just returning, but also living. Yes. Influencing king. That's correct. And this is in a way, Hadar is located like Isaac in the eighth sphere in Binah, where laughter and joy, because we can experience laughter and joy and happiness when we experience life beyond ourselves. Yes? Because we always stand, or the selfing is the story that we tell ourselves about our life. Yes? So when we do selfing, when we tell ourselves that this is my name is Paul and Mary, and I was born, it was this selfing, the story that we tell ourselves about ourselves, will always come on what? On minus, and not good story, and only suffering. Yes? So when we act gratuitously, like Hadar, we can experience laughter and joy and happiness. And the best of it, freedom. Why? Because we are not doing selfing, we're just acting gratuitously. And this is a great freedom. I suffer, yes, therefore I am. That is a great definition of selfing. Yes. Ask people what they do, suffering day and night, because they think that they create themselves and so and they are in a way in charge or responsible, yes, for climate change. This is people, they think they are in charge of climate change. This is why they have to sleep on the roads and trucks have to roll above them, yes, and so on. We are not so much in charge of what is happening here, but the only thing that we can do here is to do things gratuitously, from kind heartedness. This is the only freedom that exists. All the rest is just selfing. This is a mechanical, robotical thinking. And why do I say mechanical, robotical thinking? This is what the moon does. When we look at the relations between planet, moon always evolves around the earth. Yes? And this is a mechanical, the thought, machshava, yes, has the same value like the moon or the lunar year, 355 days. So machshava is something mechanical. We cannot, if we really follow this, we cannot stop this mechanical thinking. Why? Some people take like sleeping pills at night, all kinds of drinks. Why can't we stop this mechanical thinking? Because we did not create it. This is embedded code. What is the embedded code of our thinking? It is come, or it reflects the relation between the moon and planet Earth. So people use all kinds of chemistry to stop thinking, to let people rest in sleeping pills or so. But I would like us to understand that this is a mechanical happening. And the only freedom from this robotical programmed life, yes, is to act gratuitously out of our caste, so to speak, out of our selfing. Is this clear? There is an idea of we only do, there is an idea if only do enough, we will be someone rich somewhere. Yes, yes, this is a horizontal thinking. Yes, like Esau. If we do enough of many things, we go somewhere. Yes, this is the vertical aspect is better because the being. We don't need to arrive anywhere. We don't need to do multiple things. It will not get us anywhere. Yes? Just one more prayer, just one more seminar. Yes, this is what people do. Yesterday, I had something like this too with the guitar. I thought that only if I get this triangle that can, um, I don't know how to say this in English, the triangle that you can play with the guitar, this riff. I'm not sure. I'm not sure that I had the right uh, word in English. If I go to the shop, yes, I will go and I will get it and I could play and sing. And Andra says, you if you think that the song will be recorded, if you first go to the shop and bring it, why do you don't you just record it? Don't you hang your hat on going to the shop and bring it? Just record it. This is the simple thing. But the mind, yes, the mind is always telling us go far, even farther. Yes, do faster. It will bring you a good outcome or a better outcome, and so on. Simple friendship. Simple friendship is a treasure. In a way, we can only rest in friendship because in friendship, we're not, in a way, selfing. Yes, there is an interesting melting point or space in friendship. In a way, friendship, a truth, honest friendship, in a way, can break the walls of slavery to the selfie. And when people experience deep friendship, this is a life changing event because each one of the friends do not relate to another friend like this person with a name, with a job, and with this address. The friends relate to each other as living souls. And when we relate to our friends as living souls, we don't, first of all, we don't demand from them anything. We're just offering things and see how they will accept it. And as when we understand that all of us are just living souls, we don't try to pin them and to say, this one has the quality of this, and we label him with this quality or she with this quality, and we say sentences about them. Because true friends, they live in our heart. Yeah. We don't need to, in a way, describe them, to put labels on them. We just love them. And while we are in connection with them, we can rest, we can be happy because no one demands and no one puts limitations or labels. And this is the only way to be free, is to have a friend. Not to have as owning, but this being friend, being, the sense of being a friend. It is funny that when we give advice to friends, we are often more resourceful than when we give advice to our yes, to ourselves. Yes, this is precise. Hada can symbolize it. Yes, we should cons- console each other when we start self-talk. Yes, 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 yes. In a way, when someone doesn't feel good, and he doesn't know, when people do not feel good physically, let's say, and they already feel no good because something happens, or they're already in a blind spot. So a person cannot help himself because he has the blind spot, because he doesn't feel good, so he doesn't see clearly. But another friend would say such a one sentence, and because he's not in this situation, he can say one word and suddenly there's a shift coming, because he, the friends who doesn't feel good, he said, okay, I'll try this, and suddenly it works. And then, so just to change simple words with caring friends, or even sometimes with neighbors, and they say something that come, because this is interesting. The relation between people is not like in a duel. Whenever there is a relation between people, whether it's friends or neighbors or at school also, we see two bodies. Yes, we see two bodies. We can say person A speaks to person B, but what is really happening is a triangle. You can ask, where is the third person? No, the third is not a person. The third, in a way, is the infinite between them. And this is in this triangle, in this space, the communication, in a way, handles or happens. So it is very interesting once we open a conversation, in a way, not just two are participating, but also the other, the other, or the empty space. And this is the triangle, this is the infinity. So whenever there is a communication, there's not only two, it's not back and forth. Yes, yes. When two or three are gathered. Yes, that's correct. The dove comes. So whenever we open our heart or we speak and somebody answers or says something, in a way, transformation happens, because it's not like two bodies, yes, that each one is closed in his space like two parallel lines. No, but also two parallel lines, they meet in the infinite. So there is a magic happening in communication, because we can never expect what will happen. Because usually in ourselves, when we tell stories to ourselves, this is selfing, it is like a closed room. Everything, the repetitive thoughts and repetitive conditions. But when we open ourselves to communication with others, always something new is coming, something that we did not foresee before. Any questions or thoughts? Yes, Lou? Here is a little story. Yes. We are very glad that you're here too, Luke. Yes. Here is a little story from the neighborhood. There are like cats here in the building, and good people are taking care of them. They're feeding them, they're taking care of them. They give them pillows and blankets now when the days are getting short here and it's a bit cold. And one of the cats, her name is Marilyn, after Marilyn Monroe, because she has like like a dot on her face. So Andre called her Marilyn. Yes, and the neighbor, she is a doctor. She helped her. She took her to surgery. Yes, and now she's much better, Marilyn. And every day when I go next to Marilyn, I say, "Good morning, Marilyn. Good evening, Marilyn." For a couple of months, I think. And today, when I came home, she just ran to me for a few months and said, "Meow, meow, 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 meow." It was like a miracle because every day I say to her, "Good evening, good morning, how do you do?" And she just, with her eyes, in a way, say hello and does not move, or she's very sensitive. She's also very vulnerable. She doesn't let people approach her. But after a few months of saying good morning, good afternoon, and she just ran at me and say, "Meow, meow, meow, meow. I noticed that you came. I noticed for myself that you came." And it's just, it makes person happy, those things. Also, yesterday, we came home and we saw a soldier, not because of the situation in Israel, they are giving manpower to guard a school, and we have a school next by. And yesterday, before 5, we noticed there's a person, he's guarding the school with weapon. And I told Andra, "Do you have something to give him?" And Andra had on his back, like, how do you say, a waffle and a Coke. And we, I said, "Let's give him something. He's standing from the morning." And I approach and he says, "Thank you, thank you." And I said, "Would you like to have something?" He said, "I don't drink cola or something zero." But I said, "Would you like to have a coffee?" And he says, "Yes." I said, "I'll bring you." So I came home, we made him coffee, I gave it to him. Meanwhile came another one, his friend who was guarding school. So they shared, the other friend took the coffee, he took the candy bar, and parents were coming to pick up their children. It was a beautiful moment because I don't know those people who guard school because every day they change the guards because of the situation. But you notice there's a moment and then you can act. And it it just made me happy that I could give a cup of coffee to a person. And he says, "Thank you, I'm just here for 20." I said, "Would you like to have supper?" Both of them. And he said, "No, soon we shall go home. We just have another around here to check everything, but soon we shall go home." We offered him everything. But yes, yes, and I came home, and the fact that I talked to them and they was just having a moment with the parents, with a child, they just sang to them Hanukkah songs, this first grader, and not knowing them, not knowing the parents, not the child, not those people who guard the school, just the simple action of turning to each other with kindness, with politeness, it gave me fuel to work until 11 at night. Uh, it's something that it doesn't happen because it is, I don't know how to express it even. I just don't know how to express it. Yes, Fernando, and this is real Kabbalah, the idea of the light and the vessel in practical way. Yes, yes, it is interesting. You notice there's a moment, it is a split of a second. It is a door, and that you can act gratuitously. Yes. And this is those things are very interesting. It also happened yesterday in the morning when I noticed there were people in the bay and I could talk to them. Yes, I noticed there's a listening. There were also a group of soldiers before they were taken to one of the frontiers. And I approach and I say, "Can I speak to you?" And I say, "Yes." And we spoke about the ancient one and how he is unfolded and so on. Yes. Yes, the side Yes, product is happiness. When yes, yes. Apropos vessel, I need to refill. So come on, Andre, refill your coffee. Yes, we just bought new cups. And yesterday, it is interesting. It is interesting. Yes, this is the happiness. This is why Hadar, in a way, and here we see Hadar, his wife Mehet of El, Hadar to return. Hadar and Isaac are located in the eighth sphere. Happiness, joy. This is a true happiness. You, a person with his own deeds, merits, cannot feel this happiness. We can't. We just can't. It is only happening with through how do you say interacting with another soul, again with another soul, and this is the only freedom that we have, and the only happiness that exists when we are living with another soul, another miracle soul, because souls here on planet earth are miracles. We are not that, how do you say, privately, but this whole universe with its trees and animals and human beings and mountains and oceans and river is miracle. Why miracle? Because we cannot conceive it in our minds. We can take geography as a topic, archaeology as a topic, medicine as a topic, mathematics, physics, but all of those things, it is impossible to conceive. This is why life is miracle. And with this beautiful notion of miracle, I would like to wish each and every one of you infinite miracles, love, and friendship wherever you are. Thank you so much. And shalom, shalom. Thank you. Thank you, friends.